clear. I don't usually use this microphone much anymore. So it's great to be here. Welcome. This is our Planting the Seeds for New Beginnings Healing List event. So I do this every September for the Healing List event for every September. So here we are. This might be our 6th or our 7th, I think. And here again, I'm out with my potato seeds and I'm getting ready to plant you, those of you on the healing list. So I have turned my soil here beside me, and this will be where I plant you. Let's see what we're going to do. Before I plant the seeds, I'm going to smudge the ground, which I haven't done yet. So I'll do that in a minute. I've got a healing energy card I want to pull in a moment. Good morning, Jackie. I'm not going to be able to see the comments very easily because I'll be basically wandering up and down this field, my little garden bed. We have 32 people on the list today, so thank you all. I'm happily sitting in a bit of a shadow. And after I plant you, I borrowed Corey's drum, so we're going to play the Phoenix drum over the seeds. So I want to keep that off the damp ground. I've got some potato seeds in here. I'm allergic to them, allergic to the raw potatoes, so I'm going to grab a glove. So I have some seeded potatoes here that are going to seed because it's springtime. These are potatoes that we call pink eye potatoes. We're a big potato growing state here in Australia, in Tasmania, so we grow a lot of different varieties of potato, and on the mainland, we call the mainland, which is the rest of Australia, they tend to, or the last time I visited, they either have dug out of the dirt potatoes or they have washed potatoes, whereas here in Tasmania, when you go to the supermarket during potato season, we might have 6 or 8 different varieties of potatoes. So we're quite the potato growing place here. It's a great climate for potato growing. Our pink eye potatoes are really yummy and sweet, and they're usually ready around Christmas time, which is right at the middle of our summer. And the skin's very thin, so you can usually just brush the skin off with a butter knife, or even just rub it off with your fingers or a light brush, and boil them in a pot of water with a little bit of mint, fresh mint, and have them with salad and things like that. They're also really yummy to then cook to what I call chip up. So after we've got some left over, I always do extra of the boiled, so then the next day I can cut them up into slices and fry them in a frying pan, just with a bit of butter or a bit of ghee or something like that, and they're very yummy. So pink eyes are good. I've got 32 of you. Your names are here somewhere. So I have printed you out and cut you up and pinned you together. And what I'm going to be doing is I'll be grabbing a potato and grabbing a name at the same time. And I'll be saying whoever it is, and I'll be planting you with that particular seed, with that particular potato. And then over the next few months, the potatoes will grow and sprout and produce new potatoes for us to harvest and eat. So I see this as a symbol of planting new seeds for us. So what I encourage you to do, especially if you're one of the people on the healing list, and when your name's been mentioned, I suggest that you really deeply move into that energy of planting new seeds in your life. What sort of seeds do you want to plant? Do you want to plant some changes in yourself, some changes in your relationships, some changes in your life? Do you need to put the old to rest? Do you need to lay it to rest now so that you can make room for the new to sprout in your life? If the ground was full of weeds, which it was a few days ago, which is why I turned the soil, because I thought I'd better prepare, there's not going to be much room for the new seeds to sprout. So as I smudge the ground, which I'll do in a moment, we'll use our smudging time to help pull the weeds in our own kind of garden, our own life garden, our internal garden, and think about pulling the weeds, stripping back, pruning, that kind of thing, in preparation for growth, in preparation for seeding and planting the new seeds. Let's start by pulling a healing energy card and go from there. Welcome everyone, I'm Leanne Peters and this is our healing list event for September. This is especially for some of my Temple of Balance patrons, and this particular month is our planting the seeds for new beginnings. Are you ready to plant the seeds for new beginnings, and what does that mean for you? I'm looking for the best card to support our preparation in planting these seeds. We haven't planted them yet, we're preparing to plant. So the best card for the majority of us is this. It's Healing Energy Cards Deck 2, and it is Protected, card 74. It's in neutral here, and it says, stand strong, safety, protect yourself, your loved ones and your property. Protective force field has been activated. Step back, temporary and a passing storm. So this is like the protection shield has been activated. So maybe for some of us it might be important to consider where we're feeling unsafe to plant new things in our life. What relationships are tense, or do we feel like we're walking on eggshells and we can't really be ourselves, so perhaps we can't really plant new things or bring new things forth? Where is it in our self do we feel vulnerable and fragile and unsafe to be able to take that step moving forward into the new beginnings? So this is protection up. The stand strong energy feels important too, and this is a reminder of where the seeds came from. The seeds came from the harvest of the last season. So actually these seeds came from when I planted the seeds for new beginnings here in September last year. So these have come from good stock. They have come from a strong plant that then produced its seed so that we can continue the cycle, continue the new beginnings through. So this is not a brand new thing. This has come from generations perhaps of plants past. We have come from generations past. The egg from the chicken has come from generations past. So there is a history, there is a strength, there is a protection that carries the seed through. The seed is from the fruits of the harvest from the cycle or season before. So there is something really nourishing about that awareness that this is not something brand new that we're plucking out of the air. This is something that is standing the test of time, and it moves in its cycles as we move through our cycles too. So stand strong like those that have come before us. Now, where am I going to put the cards so they don't blow away? I'm going to get ready to smudge. I'm going to be walking around a lot, so hopefully I might pull you over. I won't intend to, but I've got a few meters here of length of microphone. So I'll tuck my cards next to my greenhouse. Should be in the shade. And go through all the spider webs. And I'll light the smudge stick first, and then I'll carry it over the ground. Welcome. Hi Ian. Hi Janice. Hi Martin. Whoop, that's right. Oh, I've got one match left, but I did put a new packet of matches in my pocket. So we'll see if this goes, because it's a bit windy and I'm not really a lighting person. So hopefully it doesn't go out. Oh, it looks good so far. I might have my back to the wind a bit. Oh, that's good, that's good, that's so good. Oh, it feels nice having this out here in the open outside. Hopefully this marks the beginning of some more videos outside now the weather's warming up a bit. Okay, nice big breath. let's work this sacred smoke over ourselves first. Take a nice big breath as we ask this sacred smoke to wash over our bodies and carry away with it all negative energies, entities, cords, hooks, attacks and attachments, and anything that we're holding on too tightly to that has no room to heal. Let's let it go. Let's be willing to breathe out and let go. And this is our time now to imagine pulling the weeds in our life, to imagine stripping things back, closing doors, letting go, saying goodbye, whatever we need to do to create the space and the room and the time for the new seeds to sprout in our life. And so it is. Okay, I'm going to run this over our ground now. So I'm not really sure what the camera is going to be picking up. So, whoops. Oh, sorry about that. My thing is not very stable. Let's just pop you here in the grasses. That's probably a good spot. I don't intend on being in shot much now. So, down to the end of the black plastic. Okay, nice big breath. Let's prepare the ground. Just takes a nice big breath. Ground, we've got beautiful fertile ground here. We've got clay soil. It's very rich and lush. Not the great for potatoes, but the potatoes still like it. I'm going to let this burn out here, and I'll tuck it into a little spot there, so you might see some smoke going from time to time. I'm going to put on my glasses, and I'm going to move the drum and get out our seeds. Take some nice big breaths. And I'll start down here and move closer to you as we go. So as I say your name, as your seed is planted, go as deep with that as you can. So I'm going to sit you on the ground or tuck you in a little bit, and then I'm going to cover up with hay or straw. Okay, so let's go. Hopefully I get everybody. It's going to have your names loose in my bucket, my box. So, first person is Kathleen Glen. Kathleen, wrapping you around this potato seed. You are first to go. Just taking you down. Priscilla Kimboko. I'm just wrapping around like wrapping a scarf around you, around the seed. Wrapping you around the seed. Next is Rebecca Ross. Next is Joanne Monroe. Next we have Angela Fraser. Oh, you want two seeds? All right. We'll wrap you around two here, Angela. Nicole E. In the ground little bed. Ready to go. Next is Emily Fussell. You got 2 sprouts from the 1 seed. Next is Joanna Levine. Tucking you into bed. Oops, I'm tangling myself around my microphone cord. Next is Suzie Nicholls. And now we've got Kanti, Devi, Wedad. And Janice Chalmers. Well, that's going nice and deep. Nice loose soil there. Bridget Mehrtens. Sonsteng. Next is Jane Corlett. Oh, look at that for a long sprout. You're ready to go. Ready to go, Jane. Tuck you in over here. I see a few potatoes are already preparing to come up over there. Next is Matthew Keith. And Jackie. You've got two long sprouts here. Oops, one dropped off. I guess one didn't want to be there, Jackie. Letting it go. Next is Carol White. Tucking you in, Carol, into the fertile ground, ready for the new. Bring the new. Spark the new. Sprout the new. Avril Daly. You've got one strong sprout here. Now we have Teala Smith. Teala. There we go. Now we have Rayna Ortiz. And Nicki Mohler. Allison. We've got a nice long sprout here too. In you go. Oh, nice and soft ground there. Next is someone also with a very long sprout. It is Angie Griswold. Angie. I'll tuck you in here. Next is Amanda. Next is Nicole Wiggins. Tuck you in here. I'm almost at the smudge stick. Oh yeah, there I am. Okay. Not sure. It's hard to see the camera from here. Next is, we might have about half a dozen people left. Next is Pamela Florea. Wowzers, Pamela, you're potato is strong, and you've got about 6 new sprouts coming off, but they're very short, which doesn't matter. Just it feels like potentials. That's yours there, Pamela. Next is Michele Burch. You've got 2 nice strong sprouts here, about the same size. Michele, in you go. And who's going to be the one next to the smudge stick? Chelsea Keith. You've got a pretty strong sprout here too, Chelsea. Tuck you in there next to the smudge stick. Okay, we're getting closer to you and closer to the rocks. Next is Rhia. Rhia, your potato has 1 small sprout. Doesn't matter how big it is. Plant you over there. Nice soft ground there. We only have a couple more left, I think. Next is Christi. Christi. Planting you here. And this is probably the last person, Anne-Marie Douglas. I'll just double check, make sure there's no names tucked away somewhere here. Anne-Marie Douglas, in you go. Let's just do a quick check. Hello everybody. Make sure there's no names. I've got a few more potatoes, so this can be for those of you who are not on the list, or those of you who are, who'd like to further embed and embody yourself in these new seeds. So let's plant a few more in here, and then I'll just cover all this up at the same time. Ah, oh, spring is coming. So nice. Let's chuck a few more over here in the shade. Stays a bit damper over here in the shade of my greenhouse. And that is about all. So now it's time to cover you with hay. Let's just do a quick check. Hello, hello. Yes. Oh, beautiful. Thank you. Okay, let's cover you up with hay or straw, and then I will do some drumming. I'll start with this straw that's just here behind the camera that I pulled off from last year's. So let's lay you to rest now. We've got the seeds planted. Sometimes then there are things for us to do. Other times we have to just let it be, let it unfold. Trust in the unfolding, but also be proactive in what needs to be done. To add another layer onto these guys so they don't go green. I might not have quite enough to cover, but got a good start. Teala, I see your name poking out over here. Oops, I forgot about that smudge stick, didn't I? I'll have to dig that out because I don't want to create any type of fire. Okay, I'll just scrub this sage out. Bridget's already put itself out. So I've got the sage. I'll deal with that later. Okay, we've got fertile ground, we've got seeds, we've got names, we've got straw, and now would be a great time to drum. Before I drum though, let's grab a card. Oops, sorry about that. Nope. Sorry. That might be okay. Whew. Alright, let's grab a card before we drum. So I'm looking for the best card that the majority of us need. There's something that feels very peaceful, very grounded, very calm, very close to the earth at this point. So the best card as we move into drumming time. Let's go with this card. Healing Energy Cards Deck 2. And we have, what is this? Uncover the Heart. Uncover the Heart. It's card 56 and it's in the depth category. The depth energy is what I'm feeling that's pulling us kind of deeper down into the earth, down into ourselves. It says reveal and release smallness. Remove layers that cover your heart. Heal and open your heart so you can be more of who you truly are and love. So this is a real strong feeling of cracking open the heart and allowing the new seeds to be planted in our heart, in this most vulnerable, sensitive, personal, private place of ours. This place that helps us access those deep possibilities within us, helps us access the truth, and helps us feel love and intimacy. This deep sacred place here is what we're being called to connect with. And feel that, perhaps you can feel that pull, like a groundedness. I feel really close to the earth right now, like almost like I'm tucked in a hole that I've dug out in the ground and I'm just sort of sitting down in the earth, and it feels beautiful. So it feels very grounding, very nurturing right now, very comforting. And this is, I guess, like the nurturing that now we offer the seeds. We want to create the best conditions for the seed to germinate, and we want to nurture the new that wants to grow within us. So nurture it with some time, with some patience, with some water, with some sun, with some nourishing foods and nourishing things that we ingest in our body, with a healthy attitude and mind, and a willingness perhaps to open up or let the guard down at our heart just a little bit more today. So I'm going to put the card aside and I'm going to get ready to play the Corey's Phoenix drum. Oh, and it's settled into this space very nicely because it's natural skin. It adjusts to the environment, and when I first brought it out it was a bit flat, so sitting here and being in this space, it's actually become very nice. So I'm going to move the camera a bit. maybe I don't need to, but I'm going to walk up and down here and I'm going to drum. Hopefully it's not too loud in the microphone. I'll keep it away a little bit. But enjoy. Work with the drum to support you with whatever it is you need right now. as you ground, as you settle into that seed that I've planted for you, as you settle into your heart, settle into the earth, as you settle into this moment. You can't do anything wrong. Just take some deep breaths and enjoy. The phoenix, the symbol of rising up from the ashes. We got a tangle. You know, it's like when you take your dog for a walk and the leads tangled around their foot. Okay. Thank you very much. I trust you have been enjoying this time outside in nature, letting go and also planting the new seeds for you. So to further work with this energy as deeply as you can, I recommend that you spend maybe some time today or over the next couple of days really reflecting on what these seeds are for you. What do they represent? The clearer we can be on those, if we know, for some of us we might have things up in the air at the moment and we don't really know what's around the corner, so these seeds may symbolise the unknown, quite literally. But for some of us, we know what's coming up. So can we further clarify or bring clarification to what these represent for us? So even if I've planted one seed for you, which was pretty much everyone except one person, that seed can encompass many seeds. So don't feel it has to be one thing that you pick. It's a representation of anything that you want to birth in your life moving forward from here. What are you ready to bring about? What changes, what improvements, that sort of thing might be worth considering and thinking about. So thank you so much. Now I want to thank those of you who are on my Patreon, Temple of Balance on Patreon, and who support my work through Patreon and for being a part of this healing event. So thank you all so much. If you would like to be a part of it next month, these happen every month. They don't happen in this way. Usually they're a bit different and they're usually inside, but hopefully I'll be able to do more outside now it's warming up. Well, it's not usually that stable yet, but we'll see what the weather's like next month. I'll be doing this again at the end of October, so you can learn more about becoming a patron on the link in the video description. I am going to pull a card to go. Look what we've got on the bottom, the Phoenix. That's pretty cool. I love that card. Rise of the Phoenix. I'm going to pull a card now to go. So thank you all for joining me. I'm looking for the best card in regards to where to from here. How can we best work with these seeds that have been planted and the changes that we have welcomed today? How can we best work with those in our life? That's the card I'm looking for. Where do we go to from here? So the best card for what's next and where to go from here is, we'll go with this card from Healing Energy Cards, deck 1, and it's I Am Expanding, card 43. It's in the Rise category like the Phoenix, and it says your light is expanding, not your lower ego demanding. We think the ego don't grow, but we think all this stuff grows. It becomes more demanding and it becomes more looming and louder. It doesn't necessarily expand like light would expand. So the illusion or the opposite of truth or the ego or fear, this all seems like, oh my gosh, it's getting bigger and bigger. Well, it is getting bigger, but it's expanding. It's not expanding, it's getting larger and more looming. So our light expands, our ego becomes more demanding, is basically what this is about. It says release who you are for who you could become. Opportunities and higher self. So there's a sort of a stripping back here of the flawed, we could say, the illusory, the limiting, the insecure parts of ourselves that have been holding us back from taking our life up a notch, for taking our life into some new territory or welcoming some new opportunities. Those things that limit that, we're being encouraged to let those go and allow the light and the things that we want to bring forth to expand and become a part of our life, if that's what we are keen and eager to embrace. So there's rising, there's uplifting, there's opportunities, and there's tapping into our higher self, which I call our highest truth. So that's that. Thanks for joining me today. I trust this has been helpful and supportive, and that you have a great rest of your day. Thank you so much, and sending you lots of love from my heart to yours, and I will tend to your seeds now. I'm going to put my irrigation on and give them a bit of a water, and then see how they go. Give them some more water when they need it, and let the sun do its thing, let the ground do its thing, and see how the harvest goes. So thank you very much for joining me, and I look forward to connecting with you again very soon. Take care and goodbye for now.